So yeah, so if you had to leave just a couple of key pieces or advice
Hmm.
for for a victims of sexual assault,
Yes.
survivors, let me rephrase
Hmm.
that, survivors of sexual assault, and just people in general that love to go out and run and do, hike and be active and be outside and do it alone, which is totally fine. What are some of your key takeaways?
Absolutely. So, for recovery, the instrumental thing for me was therapy,
Mhm.
EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. I had never heard of it. I wasn't sure about it. It kind of looked like hypnosis, but it is not. But it is a form of therapy that can help you to reprocess memories in a
Mhm.
way that is not physiologically disruptive. So
Mhm.
I can tell my story, and my heart rate is 62, and just kidding, it's 92. But but I can tell my story and not mentally totally go back to that situation.
Mm.
Like
Mhm.
it kind of fades. It's like if you're watching TV and then you're turned, well, this will age me, but turn to the channel that you don't get, and it just is like kind of static.
Yeah.
You can sort of see it. So that's what EMDR does. It can turn your memories into sort of black and white with faded edges.
I
Much
wish I had
easier.
that. I wish I had that for 9/11.
I agree. When I read your book, that's the
Yeah.
first thing I thought. It's
Yep.
not too late. It is not too late.
I know. Luckily, I don't get stuck there anymore, but
Yeah,
I know how helpful it could have been back
yeah.
then. Sorry, go on.
Absolutely.
Next.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that because I was
Yeah.
curious about with your experience, kind of what your thoughts were on that. But I don't even think that therapy had been developed yet back then. It's
No.
fairly new.
Okay.
um,
So
so yes,
EMDR.
EMDR. Um, if you are a survivor of sexual assault, talk to somebody. Just talk
Mhm.
to somebody,
Mhm.
not me, but someone you
Mhm.
trust.
Yeah.
um, and I used our company's. A lot of companies have EAP, employee assistance programs, where you
Okay.
get free therapy for however many sessions they allot.
Mhm.
If that program didn't exist, I would not have sought out therapy on my own. So
Wow.
super
That's good to
grateful.
know. I've never heard of that. And also just throwing out there,
Yes.
RAINN, RAINN, also .org, is free counseling for sexual assault victims.
Yep.
Continue.
So that is my advice.
Right.
As far as being a survivor,
Mhm.
you got to be patient. I'm
Mm,
still waiting for it to pass, but I can get through my everyday just
right.
fine. So my other piece of advice for anyone is don't let fear hold you back from doing
Mhm.
the things you love. I I mean, for years, the internet can be a cruel place, as you know, but the number of times it has been suggested to me that I get a treadmill, I am not interested in running on a treadmill
No.
at all. That sounds like a hell in itself, right?
Yep.
Like, is it
Yep.
safer? Maybe, but zero interest in running on a treadmill. So yeah, if you want to run outside, run outside. If you want to run alone, run alone. Um, with an app like Run Buddy or
Mhm.
many of the other apps out there, you can be alone without really being alone because someone can
Yep.
have, someone can keep tabs on you. So,
Yep.
um, but also the book, the power fear.
Gift of
Whew,
fear.
thank you. I'm like the power of
Mhm.
fear. The gift of fear should be
Mhm.
required reading, I think, for every high school graduate. Um, it is all about that, why we have those instincts, right? And not
Mhm.
shutting them down, not shutting those instincts up. I've even had a guy come up to me after one of my talks and he said, "Thank you for saying not to shut down other people's instincts because I do it to my wife all the time." And she
Mm.
always says, "Stop saying that." But now hearing it from you, I understand. So,
Great.
I think
Great.
I think that's really important that we're not
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, stop think you're fine. You're
You're,
fine. You're fine,"
yeah. Stop being crazy. Stop.
right?
Yeah. Stop being paranoid. That's a big one.
Right, right. And Fuck politeness,
Mm,
because I would rather hurt someone's feelings and be wrong than, for example, get into an elevator with someone who makes me uncomfortable and now I'm
yeah,
stuck in a steel box with
exactly.
someone who's scaring me. So I
Exactly.
would rather just say, "Oh, wrong floor. I'll take the next one."
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's
Exactly.
okay.
Yep.